of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so we worked out a process, Debbie and I. She's going to read the ones that I covered. Now I'll explain.
The Commissioner's Office will report on financials from April 14, 2016, Resolution 16-043, as approved by the County Administrator pursuant to the motion approved December 30th, 2014, to authorize the County Administrator to execute in the case of a lack of quorum of Commissioners and/or if session is canceled on a regular financial day or on a day when financials need to be approved, the required approvals for county financials on behalf of the Board during the year 2016 as authorized by the ORC 305-30.
And what was on the financials that day was simply a supplemental appropriation for the probate court special projects fund for salaries. So there was a $4,576 appropriation for the salary, and then the corresponding Medicare and OPERS that were needed to go along with that salary. That had to be done.
Course,
Courses.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Gary.
You guys all know Gary Wertz. He's our local agent for our property and liability insurance.
We were here in November when we accumulated all the renewal information, sent that to Corsa. They've had it now for 4 months. They now have given us the renewal quote on our program. If you were to review that, you'll notice that they were able to reduce our property reinsurance costs. They also reduced our liability reinsurance costs. Also part of the program this year, the board, which consists of commissioners such as yourself, they declared another dividend on the loss control fund. That was like $2.4 million, and our part of that was about $44,000 credit on our renewal. And in addition, this year, we got a very nice loss control credit. What they do is they send out a loss control representative to the county. They come up with a series of loss control recommendations. They give you a year to accomplish that. And thanks to Linda's efforts along with the various department heads, they accomplished every one of the goals, and we got almost $15,000 credit on our renewal program as a result of our loss control efforts, which also go into the program and reduce the losses that the pool has, and that in turn helps to control the cost of the program. So as a result, we got a very nice renewal. I think we're down almost 5% compared to where we were last year this time. So we're coming now at this point just to receive authorization for the May 1 payment on the renewal.
cool. Can we get you to run our government? You're not running for president.
Me and you, we'll do it.
Being down, deficit being down would be a good thing. So that's it's real good. I'm happy to hear good news.
Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve and authorize the President of the Board to execute the County Risk Sharing Authority Incorporated Corsa Insurance Program renewal for the period May 1st, 2016 through April 30th, 2017, and further authorize the payment of $332,611.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Rear?
Aye.
Commissioner
Aye.
Spillier? Commissioner Claypool? Thank you.
Thank you.
Very good. Nothing else. It's the good work of folks like you that make us look good.
That is what we do.
Morning, Heidi.
Financials today include a supplemental appropriation for the sheriff's concealed handgun license fund, cash transfer out of the general fund to the engineer's office for deer removal, purchase order for Corsa that you just spoke about for the 2016-17 program cost for property, auto, and liability insurance in the amount of $332,611. Purchase order for Whitworth Bus Sales Incorporated for the purchase of two 2016 Ford Eldorado buses for the Transit Department in the amount of $141,488. Purchase order for the Braun Corporation for purchase of a Dodge Grand Caravan modified minivan for the Transit Department in the amount of $36,253. Purchase order for Junction Auto Sales for the purchase of a 2016 GMC Sierra 2500 extended cab 4x4 for the Department of Water Resources in the amount of $33,431.50. Travel request for the Auditor's Office, the Common Police Court, and the Department of Job and Family Services. And there are two payments to the OSU Cooperative Extension for the first and second quarter 2016 portion of funding totaling $137,132.50.
So, on that deer removal, so explain that, so we ended up with that cost based on,
The fact that the gentleman that was doing it before
Right.
is no longer doing it, so the engineer's office is handling it right now. That was their costs to do that removal, but I think we're in the process of updating MOU.
And we're actually gonna be meeting with Joe tomorrow
Okay.
on the revising the MOUs for the two building loans. And we
Okay.
can cover that and kind of get a little more information on it.
okay, cause on that 880 or 898, what are we looking at? I mean, how many deer removal is that? That's
Six, I asked her this morning about that. It's like, was $75 from this other guy, but I think they're working on an hourly rate at this point in time,
Okay.
is what I saw. And so that's 150
Yeah.
times 6,
Right.
gives you the $900.
Kind of what I heard out of this, and I think Skip's had some conversations too, it's gonna end up costing us about twice as much a deer, but there'll probably be fewer deers picked up, so what the county's paying overall, I don't think it's gonna change a lot.
There's nobody here from the Joe. I've been talking to Joe about this. The last conversation I had with their office was that, you know, their costs have gone up. Unfortunately, the guy who was doing it for us was a really good deal, and we just don't have that available to us now. But, so the costs are gonna go up, at least on their side. What they were willing to do was split it with us, so our cost wouldn't go up. They would bear some of the burden, and so the ultimate impact for us was our cost wouldn't go up. And they would do a better job of discerning, you know, there's times when the deer are laying in a place where nature's just gonna take care of it, you don't need to worry about it. So that's what the new MOU is being worked out, how are we gonna make this fair for everybody involved? And I actually had a call from a citizen a couple weeks ago who was real upset about deer laying on their property, even though as I looked at it, you know, it didn't seem like it presented a problem, but it was an issue, and so Joe, the engineers went out and they took care of it, which was good. But we do need to come up with a way to handle this going forward, so I think they're trying to be fair, and ultimately the MOU, I think, will be a good thing to do, so.
okay.
Commissioner's Office is requesting the board approve and execute the resolution 16-044, itemizing the financials for the meeting of April 19, 2016.
Make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner
Aye.
Spillier? Commissioner Claypool? Commissioner's Office will report on the items approved April 13, 2016, and April 18, 2016 by the County Administrator, authorized by Resolution 16-005 under the direction and supervision of the County Commissioners that was approved January 11, 2016 pursuant to ORC 305.30.
Okay, on April 13th, I executed a Community Economic Development Block Grant Program Status Report for Grant B-F-15-1AZ1 for the period September 1st, 2015 through March 17th, 2016. On April 18th, I executed a number of service I actually first approved the resignation of Callum McGee, Maintenance Technician, number 2328, effective April 11th, 2016. And then I executed a number of service contracts for Water Resources, McDonald Equipment Company, generator services and repairs within the water section for 1 year, not to exceed $5,000. McDonald Equipment, generator services and repairs within the wastewater system for 1 year, not to exceed $10,000. And then for the maintenance department, there were 3 service contracts with Otis Elevator to perform lubrication and survey services for elevators. So there were 3 of them, one for the Department on Aging, one for the courthouse annex, and one for the county home, which was the dumbwaiter that we have at the county home that moves food up and down from the kitchen up to the main floor. The one for Department of Aging is for 2 years not to exceed $10,000. The courthouse annex is for 2 years not to exceed $10,000. The one for the county home is for 2 years not to exceed $17,000. And Commissioner Claypool, this is one of those documents, otherwise you would be signing with all the little places where our prosecutor got them to make changes. So there was little initials all over that. So hopefully that's saved you a little bit. Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
What about the one that I'm, at least historically, I thought we were having issues with the one
At the Opera House?
Opera House.
That wasn't part of.
It was not. Glenn is in the back.
Glenn can explain that to us, perhaps.
Yeah, that one, that contract's for 2 years and it's still going on.
Oh, okay.
That ends next year, so,
Okay, thank you.
yes.
Okay. No action necessary. Correct. So we're ready for our Mr. Not Tired.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Okay, so about a year ago at this time, the grantor who we have our grant with, the Ohio Department of Job and Family Services, was asking all of the counties in Ohio to rethink their partnerships for the workforce regions that they belong to. At that time, and still to this day, Geauga County is partnered with Asheville and Portage counties. When that was asked to be done, Portage County was thinking at that time they might want to explore a new partnership with Summit and Medina counties, and they put in an application to do so. And Geauga and Ashebula passed resolutions to stay together as a partnership, and we put in that application to do so. That was done pursuant to Geauga County Resolution, let's see here, 15. Oops, I'm looking on-
076.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm looking on the wrong document.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
that's fine.
1576, and we proceeded that way. About a month and a half ago, the Department of Labor ruled that the state of Ohio's Ohio Department of Job and Family Services policy on area designation was invalid, and therefore throwing out all of the applications at that time. So in order to make things right and to reverse the course that we put on record, I'm asking you to go ahead and rescind that resolution, pass resolution on the agenda today, 16041, which would acknowledge that Portage, Ashebula, and Geauga are staying together, at least until the next time that the state asks for applications for areas, which may be as soon as another 3 or 4 months. But this would show your support to keep the area together at least through June 30th of 2017. Or I'm sorry, yes, June 30th of
So what's
2017.
I'm in favor of this, so, personally, but, what is the reason for all this machination going on down in Columbus? Putting this forward and then they're rescinding it, and I mean, I remember sitting on the board a couple times, it looks like a cluster.
Right.
So.
Right. So a lot of this change is dictated by the change in the federal law, the passage of the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act, and transitioning to that new federal legislation from the old Workforce Investment Act. But as far as the whole reshuffling of areas, that's just a direction that the current administration feels strongly about, that they wanted to shake things up. They especially don't like the half of the state workforces all joined together, 43 counties in one area, and they were trying to break that up. They don't think that that makes sense. And so they were trying some things, and the Department of Labor kind of corrected them and said that their direction was inconsistent with federal policy. So told them to go back to the drawing board and to go ahead and redo that policy, and then the state will then make that same ask in the future. Does Geauga, Ashebula, and Portage will still stay together, or would they like to move around? And we'll have those conversations with Portage when that comes up again, which could be as soon as 3 or 4 months.
So is what I just heard you say is the federal government Department of Labor is driving?
The legislation sets rules, but it's really the state that was really trying to change up the current landscape. The federal legislation actually conveys rights upon areas that if they want to stay together, the state of Ohio, and they're meeting their performance measures, and they are meeting what they call fiscal integrity, those areas have the right to stay together. Area 19, which is Geauga, Asheville, and Portage, we have that right. We have met fiscal integrity, and we've met our performance measures. So as long as we want to stay together, the three counties, the state of Ohio has to recognize that. That was the difference, is the state wasn't recognizing those rights that were conveyed to the county governments by the federal legislation. Now they're going back, they're going to redo the policy, but again, they could open up the application process, and if all three counties that are currently in our area don't want to stay together, then at that point they could seek new collaboration. But if all three counties want to stay together, the state has to by right recognize that.
So the bottom line of this, if we sign this, we just stay together.
We stay together, yeah. I just wanted, since we had this resolution out there that was saying that it was just Ashebula and Geauga that were staying together, we felt that we needed to write that. Portage has already passed a resolution rescinding, and Ashebula either has or is about to. So yes, this will definitely keep us together through June 30th of 17, and maybe longer than that, depending upon when the state opens up that application process.
Cool. Okay, thanks.
Okay. Thank you.
Vermont COG is requesting the board approve and execute Resolution 16-041 to rescind Resolution 15-076 and authorization by Geauga County to remain with Ashebula and Portage counties as part of the Workforce Development Board, Area 19, until the Ohio Department of Job and Family Services reopens the application process for designation of workforce areas on an unspecified future date.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Claypool?
All right.
Thank you.
Morning, Jesse.
Hi, good morning. We have one of my out-of-county medical transportation drivers, Frank Kurtz. He's retiring next Friday. So through the interview process, we did find a wonderful candidate to step into his position. Jeff Thomas, he's currently at Metzenbaum. He does drive for Metzenbaum as well as provide direct care services. He's been there since 2013. And prior to that, he worked, he did transportation for a school for individuals with autism. So he's very aware of working with individuals with needs, you know, assisting individuals, and also driving the different vehicles that we use, from cars to buses, and utilizing the different components of strap-down wheelchairs. So very qualified, nice man, and we're hoping to have him start May 2nd.
Department on Aging is requesting the board approve hiring Jeff Thomas to the position of full-time transportation driver number 1020 to be effective May 2nd, 2016 at the rate of $13.30 per hour with 1 year probationary period.
I'll make that motion.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Commissioner Claypool?
Hey, have a nice day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jesse.
Morning.
Morning.
Hi, Shane, how are you?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Were your ears burning?
No,
We were talking about your ears.
good stuff.
Yeah, it was all good. It's about deer removal. All good.
Probably not your area
Yeah, I'm not here.
domain, is it?
Partially, but
Which partially, the front part or the back part?
the,
Oh, horns.
Horns.
Okay, all right.
See, if there's more hunting, we'd have less deer dead on the road.
there you go.
You know, we could save the taxpayers a lot of money by allowing more hunting. What do you think?
I think I'll refrain from commenting on that.
Very political person in that. All right. What you got?
Today, we are here to present 3 road projects: Auburn Road, County Highway 4, Sections A and C, Aquila Road, County Highway 5 South, Section C, and Mulberry Road, County Highway 39, Sections E through I. These are all Ohio Public Works funded projects. They have been given the go-ahead by Ohio Public Works pending their final approval on July 1. So this is the final resolution to prepare these for bidding and put them out to bid on April 26th.
Shane, can you explain where these are? We used to have a map here
Yeah,
that had the
okay.
segments, and I could point them out.
Au-
I know what the Auburn one is.
Auburn Road 4AC is from the Portage County line to Washington Street. Aquila Road, Section C is from Butternut to Mayfield. It actually runs past the hospital, my office, the sheriff's department, the backside. And then Mulberry E and I is from 306 east all the way to Thwing. It includes the last little piece between Mulberry and Thwing. It's actually part of the county highway system.
Okay.
That's
Even though
Fowler's
it's
Mills,
Fowler's
where
Mills, that little.
it comes around the corner.
Yeah, yeah.
It is part of our county maintained roadway system to connect from a state route to another county route.
Under all three here. I mean, as,
You wanna do all
can
three
skip.
today?
You want to?
Sounds good.
County Engineer's Office is requesting the board approve and execute Resolution 16-045 to order the improvement of Auburn Road, County Highway 4, Sections A through C in Auburn Township. This resolution also requests the board approve and execute the title sheet for the specifications for the same. Further, this resolution sets a bid opening to be held on Wednesday, May 18th, 2016 at 2 p.m. Notice of this bid opening will be advertised on Thursday, April 28th, 2016, and on the county website. County Engineer's Office is requesting the board approve and execute Resolution 16-046 to order the improvement of Aquila Road, County Highway 5, Section C, in Burton and Clarendon Townships. This resolution also requests the board approve and execute the title sheet for the specifications for the same. Further, this resolution sets a bid opening to be held on Wednesday, May 18th, 2016 at 2:05 p.m. Notice of this bid opening will be advertised on Thursday, April 28th, 2016 and on the county website. County Engineer's Office is requesting the board approve and execute Resolution 16-047 to order the improvement of Mulberry Road, County Highway 39, Sections E through I in Chester and Munson Townships. This resolution also requests the board approve and execute the title sheet for the specifications for the same. Further, this resolution sets a bid opening to be held on Wednesday, May 18, 2016 at 2:10 p.m. Notice of the bid opening will be advertised on Thursday, April 28, 2016 and on the county website.
I'll make those motions.
Second.
Okay, Commissioner Rea?
Yes.
Commissioner
Aye.
Spillier? Commissioner Claypool?
All right.
Guys?
You need to hang around for table this?
No, Debbie, you'll get it to me. Yeah, we're fine. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, bye now.
Thanks, have a good day.
Well, we're close, but not, we'll have to, we have the meeting scheduled for 9:30, so we have to wait till 9:30 to do the public hearing. So we can skip over,
You do 12.
we can do 12.
So it's on 11 together. That's good. Hey, Jerry.
Good morning.
Thanks, Jerry.
Okay, our item here is Gail Knight, one of our maintenance workers, has some medical issues he's taking care of, but he doesn't have the sick time right now. He's still within his probationary period. He doesn't have sick time to take off for that, so we're asking that he be granted 44 hours of unpaid medical leave. We'll extend his probationary period until the end of April.
Department of Water Resources is requesting the board approve an unpaid family medical leave for Gail Knight II, maintenance worker, for a period of 44 hours, which will extend his probationary period to April 29, 2016.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Commissioner Claypool?
Aye.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Bye, Jerry.
Hey, Jerry. What's your day look like tomorrow?
I'll let you know. I don't have getting a new phone, so I don't have my phone to look up my calendar right now, but I'll let you know.
All right, thanks.
You have to jump over that cord.
Yeah. I'm working on that.
It's not a safety issue.
It would make it?
And he actually wants to take that down with duct tape, because he's all about safety.
Wait a minute, the Corsa guy left over there.
Yes.
Yeah, the insurance guy left, don't worry about that. Don't pay no attention to that cord in the aisle.
Morning.
Morning, sir.
The first one is for the service contract with Nolan Door, in front of the courthouse, the south end, we're gonna get that replaced and make it still look like the door, gonna be out of wood. The two inner doors are gonna be a level 4 ballistic door on the inside, on the north end and the south end. So, talk to the judges and the sheriff and everybody on this, and everybody seems to be online and good to go with it.
It's an expensive door.
And actually, that'll be 3 doors, 4 doors.
On both
being-
ends.
being replaced.
Ballistic.
Is there that much traffic coming in and out of the north end of there?
Now, the biggest concern with the north end, it's closed down, it's only for the exit, emergency exit, but it is somewhat on ground level, and
All right.
everybody stands right there, and that's why we're putting a level 4 ballistic door there.
That can stop a howitzer, I'm assuming.
Oh, that would be a level 52, I think.
Okay.
Maintenance Department is requesting the board approve and execute the service contract agreement with Nolan Door and Hardware Company Incorporated to perform door replacement services at the Geauga County Courthouse for the year 2016 in the amount not to exceed $39,048.
I make the motion.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Blair?
Aye.
And Commissioner Claypool?
The next one is the upgrade of our recording system of the cameras at the courthouse. And, this recording system is gonna be doing, the IP and analog cameras throughout the courthouse. With that, we're gonna be doing 3 workstations, one at the courthouse, one at the annex, and one at the Chardon PD, so that they'll be able to look at the cameras and all that over there also.
So it's a little more because it can monitor both an IP camera
Correct.
and the old coax stuff.
We got a minute.
Maintenance Department is requesting the board approve and authorize the president of the board to execute service contract agreement with Tyco and Integrated Security LLC to perform upgrades and install a recording system at the Geauga County Courthouse for the year 2016 in an amount not to exceed $42,812.
Make the motion.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner
Aye.
Spillier? Commissioner Claypool?
Thank you all. Have a good day.
Thank you, Glenn. Bye-bye.
Okay, I think we're,
Pretty close.
come on up.
Good morning.
Morning.
How are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you?
Good. Morning.
So you're on. Do we need to call this, or open up the special meeting?
It's a public hearing. I think we probably need to take, I'm thinking, this is publicly advertised, we need to do a motion to waive the reading of the public hearing.
Okay, let's take that motion. Do we have a motion to waive?
I'll move to waive the public hearing.
Or reading the public hearing.
Reading of the public hearing, yeah.
All right, so we're gonna waive the public hearing. So move.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner
Aye.
Spillier? Commissioner
Fine, okay, cool. We're not gonna read the public meeting. Go ahead.
Not very exciting.
Yeah.
You're on.
Did you want to run the public hearing?
No, this is your hearing, I mean, it's the board's hearing, but you're
Okay.
presenting what are the facts of what you wanna do, and
Oh, I see.
answer any questions from the commissioners or from the audience.
We're generally familiar with where we're
Yeah.
going with all this, so you know, whatever
Okay, I just-
additional comments you wanna make. So.
Okay, well, let me introduce myself. I'm Todd Gibson. I'm with Squire Patton Boggs. We're bond counsel to the county on
on this particular issue. This is Cindy Dunn, she's the CEO of South Franklin Circle. The resolution before you is to authorize bond documents for the issuance of pre-funding obligations that will help South Franklin Circle refinance existing indebtedness at a lower cost of capital and help clean up the balance sheet in ways that will help achieve efficiencies for them in a number of ways. Cindy, do you want to offer any comments?
No, just to say that this, you know, really, to your point, cleans it up, makes it less confusing. We're totally finished with things. We have one lender. We're very excited to say the South Franklin Circle is currently 153, 77% occupied with 22 more people scheduled to move in, so we really rounded the corner.
Repeat that, how many?
22 more scheduled to move in.
And what was the percentage?
Right now, we're 153, which is 77%.
Oh, nice.
So,
Where will you be when the other folks move in?
we're about a year, 88%, 89. So we're a year ahead of time.
Okay.
So we're very happy. We turned the big corner. So the real estate market's back.
Are all the units completed, or are there some that are still being?
This project was always envisioned in 2 phases. Currently, we have
Okay.
190 independent. We have 40 assisted. There are no plans in place to go forward in phase 2 at this time. We're enjoying phase 1.
Yeah.
Getting it done and filled and moving on, yes.
Okay. I think most of us are pretty familiar with this, so there's no further questions. But I don't know if you have any other commentary or.
Is there any questions from the audience?
Commissioner's office is requesting the board to approve and execute Resolution 16-048, authorizing the issuance and sale of not to exceed $7 million self-supporting revenue bonds to refinance obligations funding the South Franklin Circle project, authorizing the signing and delivery of a base lease, bond indenture, and assignment to the master trustee, providing for the terms and security for the payment of the bonds and of a bond purchase agreement to provide for the sale of the bonds and authorizing and approving related matters.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Okay, Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Spillier?
Aye.
Commissioner Claypool?
I have one question, just for formality. Do we need to come out of the public hearing in order to go back into session?
I was
to give
thinking the
this
same
approval?
thing. I mean, you could announce that we're ending the public hearing, and then you'll complete the vote on this.
So let's end the public hearing, because we want to be correct in this whole process. So can I have a motion to end the public hearing?
Move to move out of the public hearing.
Okay, cool. So with that, I'll say aye. We've completed the vote.
Good catch.
It's covered. That's right. What are you gonna do?
All right, thank you very
Thank
much.
you very much.
Thanks
for coming in.
One more step.
Yes, sir. Next week, the transaction documents are substantially final, but we're still putting a fine point on all the exact numbers, you know, what goes into what account.
It's not to exceed 7 million, so part of that, you'll come up with a precise number at that point?
Yeah, I think the precise number is now 6.5 million.
Okay.
And then it's just a matter of, you know, what goes in each account and all of that.
Right.
So, but we'll have that finalized by the end of this week, and then someone will be back next Tuesday to have the final documents signed.
And the final numbers. So if you can get whatever you get that to us, so I can pass that on so we can see it.
Well, I brought file copies of the major documents.
Okay.
There'll be additional certificates next week.
Okay.
But substantially final documents are on file.
Okay.
And we'll be back next week with the signing package.
Okay. Sounds
Okay.
good.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Enjoy the spring.
Yes.
Well, yeah, we got the final.
That for today's vote,
Yeah,
right?
yep.
I mean, that's the final document, right?
is signing. With the board's permission, I want to bring up briefly this issue about the policy on not paying late fees, so I can get some consensus, so we can then create a document if the board is supportive. The commissioners passed a policy back in 2000 saying we don't pay late fees on any bills, period. And that may have been a reaction to instances where departments weren't processing the bills timely and there were late fees being incurred and they were being paid. I think commissioners felt fiscally prudent to just say, we're not going to do that, so departments, you have to get your bills in on time. However, looking at this issue, we've determined there are some cases where a late fee might be incurred beyond the control of the department. So what I'd like to recommend, and if you're supportive of that, we'll draft something that you can consider at a later meeting, to basically let the board waive that from time to time if it appears that the late fee was truly out of the hands of the department. Because what I don't want to see happen is, I know of one case where we have a $9 late fee, and there's been numerous discussions about that, and I think we've already spent a lot more of everyone's time talking about it than if we just said, okay, this was one couldn't be avoided, just pay it and move on. So if you're all supportive of that, I'll create a document, or I'll create a policy change for you to consider. All right?
You know, you and I talked about this morning. I think there are situations, late mail, a whole bunch of different goofy things that happen that are outside of somebody's individual personal control. They want people to take personal responsibility, and if they're being late, then they need to bear the penalty for that. But if it's outside of their control, as recently we had some mail lost, and so the individual didn't get their bill in time, and so on and so forth, and those things, we need to be able to have a mechanism to waive that. And as you and I talked this morning, if the other commissioners are in agreement with this, that would be fall in the category of something Dave would have to go through to approve. We don't necessarily need to bring all that to session, make a big deal of it.
If you're supportive of that, that's fine. How do you want to do it?
And I would be in support of a policy to allow us to have some, allow for exceptions when there's some sort of an exception. So anyway, that's my comment.
I don't have a problem with it based on the fact that there, who knows what can happen, but it could be an act of God. We could have times where weather prohibits something from happening on time, or we had times where we had to close the office because there was a massive water leak and the restrooms didn't work, and so on and so forth. If there's circumstances like that that cause that problem, that's a lot different than human error where someone just was negligent, yeah, and did drop.
Yeah, I mean, and there's going to be cases, I'm sure the county has saved a lot of money over the years by having this policy, because a lot of vendors just say, oh, you can't pay it, okay, they write it off. But, you know, in some cases, we're dealing with large entities who are not going to do that, and you really can't talk to anybody who you can convince of the fact that this was beyond our control. So now it's a matter of, it's really most cost effective to pay the late fee and move on if it appears it was beyond the control and you're dealing with a vendor who doesn't feel like they want to work with us on that issue.
I'd be more concerned with the small vendors who, you know, cash flow problem for them could be catastrophic if there's something that, you know, we should, especially if they're Geauga County people, the companies and corporations.
That's true too.
I think it's on a case-by-case basis. What was the reason for it?
Right. Okay, thank you.
Okay, before we close the meeting, I'm going to mention a couple of upcoming meetings. There was a planning commission meeting that was canceled last week, moved to tonight, so we have a planning commission meeting tonight. We have the Maple Fest coming up in Chardon. That's 21st through the 24th. Everybody wants to make sure that they go there and make some maple syrup butter, or whatever that's called.
Stir.
It's a stir.
Stir.
I go there and I make my daughter mad because I give it to my grandkids, and then they make the stir. My wife or my granddaughter or my daughter hates that one. I get my grandkids all piped up on sugar. We've got a annual salute to business coming up at CIC on the 28th. An opiate conference, which we'll be going to, some of us, the 1st through the 5th, or the 3rd in May. And that's about the only meetings on here, anybody else has got the agenda that I wanted to point out specifically. So with that, if we can have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
We're adjourned.